Well, the NBA offseason is officially bananas. I never thought that this offseason would be this crazy. I mean, it's like Adam Silver let his kid play 2K. This is literally some NBA 2K nonsense that I'm looking at here with this offseason. Like, oh my God. You can't get a break from this offseason. There's not like one moment of time where you can just relax because something's going to happen. There's always a move. There's always a trade. Something's always happening with this NBA offseason, and I like it. Does it mean anything for a lot of teams? Absolutely not, because we all know who's going to be in the finals next year and the year after that. But, man, dude, this offseason's fun, and that's what I need. Like, the NFL offseason, it's not fun. The NFL offseason, it's just free agency, and after the first 2 days of free agency, who cares? The NBA offseason, though, man, this has been fun, because normally what we have seen in this offseason, it takes like 3 or 4 off seasons. We hear about a star player being traded. You know, that normally happens at the beginning of the offseason. And usually it's a star player where it's like, we knew he was going to get traded. He was on the way out. We knew that was going to happen. Players that we've seen get traded so far that are big-time deals for their teams. Chris Paul traded. Dwight Howard traded. Jimmy Buckets traded. I mean, those are 3. And whatever you want to say about Dwight Howard, yeah, he's not the same player he used to be. But golly, man, these still got traded like for a bag of cookies. Like the Atlanta Hawks didn't want him anymore. But, man, dude, waking up this morning and hearing that CP3, Chris Paul, got traded. First of all, that wasn't even one of the biggest news. Phil Jackson finally gone from the New York Knicks. And really, to be honest, his tenure with New York, it was a disaster. He didn't want to build around Carmelo, the star player. He pretty much just like alienated their new star and Kristaps Porzingis. He signed a bunch of veterans that weren't really going to help the team whatsoever. Because the thing is, he needed to build a team around Carmelo that didn't focus around the triangle offense, but like pretty much just understand that Melo needs the ball and he needs people around him that can also shoot the ball while also having bigs that can defend the paint because Melo doesn't play defense on the perimeter. He can, but he doesn't want to. You know, Phil Jackson built a terrible team. But really, to be honest, I just couldn't believe that Chris Paul got traded to the Houston Rockets. Now, we're going to talk about other trades as well, and this is also a free agency preview video, so I'm going to be talking about, you know, the futures of other star players in the league like Blake Griffin, not Chris Paul, obviously we know where he is next year, but Blake Griffin, Kyle Lowry, Paul Millsap, and all the other stuff. More free agency talk as well in this video. But, man, dude, Chris Paul getting traded for the Rockets, God, this has to be – do you think this is the biggest trade in the offseason or the second biggest trade? Because really, to be honest, Minnesota's trade is still – oh, man, Minnesota's trade is still pretty big if you ask me. Maybe I'm biased here being a Wolves fan, but, yeah, you know, could be a little biased here about that one. But, man, Chris Paul, we knew he wanted to play for the Rockets. And he told the Clippers he wanted to play for the Rockets. The Clippers and the Rockets reached an agreement where they could get a trade. When I look at what the Clippers got, they got a guy in Sam Decker, a guy in Patrick Beverley, and a guy in Lou Williams. Lou Williams, he's pretty much just assurance that J.J. Redick is gone from the team. J.J. Redick is not going to stay with the Clippers. They knew he wasn't going to stay, so they got Lou Williams, who is a bona fide 15-point-per-game scorer, which is good. Patrick Beverley is a very defensive point guard and someone that likes to cause hell for a lot of top point guards in the NBA. You know, Russell Westbrook, he does a good job on Westbrook. He does a good job on Stephen Curry. I mean, he does a really good job, to be honest. And Sam Decker, there's flashes there for him. He's definitely a good player inside the paint, I think. Like, when it comes down to cutting and going inside the paint, I feel like he has great paint moves. His three-point shot, to me, has been inconsistent at the NBA level. But when it comes down to being inside the paint and cutting and doing layups and stuff like that, Sam Decker, he's a pretty good player. I really do like what he can bring to the table. But, man, dude, I just don't – and then the first-round pick, which is top 3 protected, and I don't think the Rockets are going to suck this year. So the Clippers got an extra first-round pick. But then again, it's in the 2018 draft, and that draft is not really known as loaded. But, man, Chris Paul that's going to the Rockets, I honestly don't understand the fit there. especially because James Harden is the primary ball handler for the Rockets. Now, I would understand if Chris Paul was going to the Rockets and this was like an older Chris Paul, you know, like Chris Paul's understanding that, like, hey, I'm no longer a star player anymore in the league, but I'm a really good six man. I could understand that if Chris Paul was going to play more for the bench, so that way the bench unit had a leader of the caliber of a Chris Paul. But the thing is, Chris Paul is still pretty damn good. He's still good enough to be, you know, a main guy on the team, to be a star point guard, to be a star player for the team. So just to me personally, Chris Paul and James Harden in the backcourt, it just makes no sense. It just seems like a weird backcourt because really, to be honest, Chris Paul doesn't play to any of what James Harden looks for in a point guard's strengths. He doesn't have a consistent three-point shot. I mean, he can shoot the three, but his three-point shot is not consistent. Chris Paul is not really also a primary scorer. Like, if I'm Houston, if I were to go for a point guard that would have made sense for James Harden, I would have tried to find a way to get the Suns' Eric Bledsoe. If I was Houston, I would have found a way to trade something to Phoenix for Eric Bledsoe, because I'm pretty sure Phoenix would have taken on some of the young players that they have. Looks like Eric Bledsoe's not in their timetable. Bledsoe, I felt, fit perfectly next to James Harden more than a Chris Paul. That's just me, at least. That's just me. So that's why I was thinking to myself, like, I didn't understand this trade. I don't get the reasoning behind it. So, yeah, really, to be honest here, Chris Paul going to the Rockets with James Harden, it's a big move, but will it pay off? Will CP3 finally make a Western Conference Finals? Honestly, I thought Chris Paul going to the Spurs would have been a better option than him going to the Rockets, mainly, or even to the Pelicans, to help Anthony Davis and what's his face, DeMarcus Cousins out. So, yeah, Chris Paul going to the Rockets. We'll see how it works out, but we'll have to wait and see. Do I think Mr. TNA asked, do you think the Rockets will try another big signing after trading Paul? Yeah, I think so. They still have cap space for it. I don't know if the team, if the big player would sign with them, because the only guy I can see them going after is Paul Millsap, and who I'm going to be talking about a lot in this video. So if you guys don't like Paul Millsap, I'm sorry, but he's one of the few big stars that can go almost anywhere in this free agency. So yeah, I think they will, because they want to try to fill a big three. Either they get Paul Millsap or they trade for Melo. But I don't know if you're going to really want Carmelo on that team. That does nothing to stop the Warriors. What team do you think can made some big moves in free agency that people do not think about, the media did not talk about in the last months? Wait, like, are you saying like recently or like right now? I'm confused by that question, Mr. TNA. I'm confused with the question. Who do I think the Knicks will hire as a GM? I don't know, really, to be honest. Like, I would go after some of the younger GMs in the league. I would probably go after Toronto's GM, not Yosai Majiri, but the guy underneath him. He seems to know what he's doing with Toronto. I'm not really like familiar with NBA GMs like I am with NFL GMs. Oh, right now, the Sixers can make some big signings that people won't talk about. Same with Charlotte. They can end up making some big moves that people won't talk about. The Suns as well, just because they're not really good teams. So, yeah. It's Drew Holiday. Yeah, now the Pelicans are going to pay a lot of money for Drew Holiday. Thoughts on Russell Westbrook winning the MVP? Well, Kadeem Simon, he deserved it. That's all I really got to say about it. He absolutely earned the MVP award. Look, with Kawhi Leonard, I think his time will come where Kawhi will definitely win an MVP award, because really, to be honest, like, he will be like someone that will just transcend the Spurs, and he'll be like one of the best, like second or third best Spur of all time when it's all said and done. So he's going to win one MVP. It's going to be like Tim Duncan. He'll win a Kawhi MVP year and stuff like that. But really, to be honest here, James Harden, last year, when you looked at him when he was on the team, the Rockets were bad. Mike D'Antoni was really the real MVP. He changed James Harden's game, and made James Harden to an MVP-type player. Russell Westbrook really carried a bad team. Like, if you took Russell Westbrook off that team, they wouldn't be anywhere. So he deserved it, man. But James Harden definitely deserved it as well. Chase, what do you think if the Kyle Lowry goes to the Timberwolves? You don't even want to know my thoughts on that one. You can tell by my smile that I'd be very ecstatic to see Kyle Lowry to the Timberwolves. Not Kyle Lowry in the playoffs, but just Kyle Lowry. That'd be pretty dope. So I don't think the Kings would be too active in free agency. I heard they want to keep it young. and all that other stuff. So if you guys like what you're seeing, make sure you guys hit that like button, and make sure you guys send this to your friends on social media, because we're going to talk about some NBA free agency. Now, the other trades that happened that I didn't really go into detail about on this channel already, Dwight Howard going to the Charlotte Hornets, a box of cookies. Miles Plumlee, that he even existed in the league. The only time I remember Miles Plumlee was that the Bucks gave him this terrible contract and stuff like that. Like, the Bucks gave him this terrible contract, and for whatever reason, the Charlotte Hornets wanted that terrible contract, and now they traded that terrible contract away in Marco Bellinelli. Atlanta is just pretty much just saying, hey, look, we're rebuilding. We don't know how far we're going to get with Dennis Schroeder. We do not know how far this team is going to go. Let's just rebuild. I mean, they've been the most consistent team, but I think Atlanta's finally understanding that, look, sometimes they sign flops. I think they're ready to rebuild. I don't think they're going to keep Paul Millsap. As for Dwight Howard going to Charlotte, Kemba has always played well when he has had a big man on his team. I mean, look at the times without Jefferson. That's really helped Kemba Walker in his career. And the pick and roll could be something that's really good. Him and Nick Batum know how to play that pick and roll very well. It's just up to Dwight. And if Dwight's consistent, I don't think we're ever going to see a prime Dwight Howard again. It's a shame because a prime Dwight Howard's a pretty good player in the NBA. But I don't think we're ever going to see it again. Jimmy Bucket's going to the Timberwolves. Amazing trade. Hopefully the Timberwolves make the playoffs. But no, really, to be honest here, I felt Chicago got some young assets that are really good. It's just that I feel bad for Bulls fans because they went from being playoff contenders to the team that could possibly scare LeBron, and they've just toppled so far down. And really, to be honest, it's just hard to look at the Bulls team and really think that you can believe that what they're doing is the right decision. Like Lauri Markkanen, he could be a good player. Like, that guy could actually turn out to be a really good player. But Zach LaVine, I always told people about Zach LaVine because me being a Timberwolves fan, I just got to show up the jersey just so people know this is a Wolves jersey. I bet you guys can't guess the player, though. That's pretty obvious who the player is. But me being a Wolves fan, I always get people asking me who I like more between Zach LaVine and Andrew Wiggins because it was apparent one of them was going to go. We weren't going to keep both of them. We weren't going to have both Zach LaVine and Andrew Wiggins long-term in the future. And I always told people I've always liked Andrew Wiggins more. I feel Andrew Wiggins with the right motor and the right mindset, he can end up being one of the best players in the league. And that's not a joke. That's how I truly feel. I feel Karl Anthony Towns, he's our superstar, but the player with the highest ceiling and the player with the highest upside is Andrew Wiggins. The dude is just a natural scorer. It's just amazing how natural this guy is when it comes to being a scorer. The dude is just amazing when it comes down to it. And he just needs to work on his defense. And I feel with the defense, when that comes, that's what's really going to help take Andrew Wiggins to the next level. At least in my personal opinion. That's what I feel like is going to take Andrew Wiggins to the next level. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see on that. But really, to be honest, Jimmy Butler, I feel like he's going to help out the young Timberwolves, and I feel like he's going to make the Timberwolves better. Now they just need to trade Ricky Rubio because they need to get a point guard that can shoot the three ball. Because Jimmy Butler is pretty much your point guard. It's not going to be Ricky Rubio. So, yeah. I'm still sad about the Lakers trading away D'Angelo Russell. Well, they traded away a bad seed. That's all I could really say about it. They didn't feel like D'Angelo would fit in the locker room anymore. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You got to trade away, even if it's a good young player. You got to trade him away because he may not fit the situation anymore, and you sometimes got to move on from that. What do I think about Simmons and Embiid texts about Lonzo Ball? Really, to be honest, it's just them being childish and trying to get something out of it. Who cares, really, to be honest? Because Joel Embiid needs to stay healthy, and Ben Simmons needs to play an NBA game before he can actually say shit. To me personally, I know Lonzo Ball's not going to get hurt. I know Lonzo Ball's going to make a debut his rookie year. So, yeah. You do not want to see a Ball and Russell backcourt. There's no defense involved in that one, Kadeem. How was things like that giving you the finger at the end of the video about the Wolves and Bulls draft hit with him knowing your team won the trade? She like that he's angry. I can understand. I didn't see that video yet, Mr. TNA, but thanks for letting me know. I have been waiting for that video, but I haven't been able to keep up with it. So I guess I know what I'm going to be watching when I'm done with the live stream. But he just knows, man, that we now have his best player, Jimmy Buckets. So, yeah. What do the Bucks need to do to threaten the Celtics and especially the Cavs in the East? Honestly, Mr. TNA, I feel like they just need to sign – they need to sign another reliable big man that's like kind of just a rim protector. He's not like going to be like Greg Monroe and step on Monroe's toes of being the main scorer. But really, to be honest, they just need a big man that's just like, hey, I'm just here to protect the rim. And they need one more shooter off the bench that's not Jason the Jet Terry. I like the Jets. Yeah, I mean, he played well for them in the playoffs. He had one of the best Bucks playoffs moments I've ever seen. But straight up, you need another three-point shooter because that's what's going to help them because their starting lineup is really good. Really good. You got Malcolm Brogdon, a shooting guard, point guard hybrid that can play defense and is just such a prolific shooter and has no fear. Chris Middleton, who is one of the most underrated 3-and-D players in the league. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Do I even need to go into how good Giannis Antetokounmpo is? No, I do not. Hey, what up, Slump TV from Sports Fan Entertainment? Shout out to this guy. Great guy. But, yeah, you got Jabari Parker, if healthy, a pretty damn good versatile player. And then the center and either Thongamaker or Greg Monroe. Ooh, that's good stuff. I feel like the Bucks are fine. They just need a big man that's just there to play defense and rim. Also for depth issues when someone does go down with injury. And they also need someone that's a three-point shooter. Like a J.J. Redick, that would be a good pickup for the Bucks, but I don't think they have the money to sign a J.J. Redick. Personally, I don't think they have the money for a J.J. Redick. So, but yeah. Chase, what does the Mavs need to do in order to win in the future? They just kind of have to wait till the Dirk Nowitzki era is over. You know, not to say that's a bad thing about Dirk. You know, Dirk's a good player and everything, but a great legend, future Hall of Famer. But they just kind of have to wait till he's done because then they can finally rebuild. No, Blake Griffin's not going to the Thunder. Okay, see the video about winners and losers. I thought I was going to make a separate video about the Bulls trade, but yeah, I'll go check it out. Nothing much, Slump. Just going to talk about the NBA free agency, man. This is a big-time free agency. A lot of good players in this free agency. A lot of underrated players in this free agency, too, that I think a lot of people don't really talk about. Let's get started with talking about some of the free agents. And, of course, I'll answer anyone's questions. So just don't think that, like, oh, I'm ignoring you if I don't answer a question. Just know I'm talking about a player. And we will talk about Blake Griffin first anyway, since, you know, his team just got accepted. Pretty much just got, taken down. But really, to be honest, Blake Griffin this offseason, really, to be honest, Blake Griffin this offseason, someone with the Draymond Green poster picture is named Derrick Rose, and he put his thing that my knee hurts. Oh, come on, man. Leave D Rose alone. But yeah, Blake Griffin, he really, to be honest, is probably going to resign with the Clippers. I feel like the Clippers really want to keep Blake Griffin. Like, I don't see many options for Blake Griffin to go to because Blake Griffin's not going to go to a team that sucks. He wants to go to a contender, and the only other team that wants to really sign Blake Griffin is the Phoenix Suns because the Phoenix Suns want to sign everyone. They want to get everyone under the moon under their contract because they just need star players. They just need star players. So, really, to be honest, Blake Griffin, he's going to stay on the Clippers. I just don't see it. You know, I just don't see, really, to be honest, why Blake Griffin would leave the Los Angeles Clippers unless it's just for, like, because the Clippers are going to be able to give him the more money than any other team in the league. And to really contend if he goes anywhere else, like Oklahoma City, yeah, but Oklahoma City is looking to give Russell Westbrook and make Russell Westbrook the highest paid player in NBA history. So I don't know. I don't think Blake Griffin to the Rockets classic wrestling commentary. That'd be some really 2K cheese, though, if they did that. The Raptors, should they sign Blake Griffin? No. They need to sign Kyle Lowry. That's their main focus, is to get the underrated backcourt back together. Do I trust the process? No, I don't trust the process. I don't trust it. I don't know what they're doing, really, to be honest. What's the process? What process of sucking? That's not a process to me. I don't feel like losing all the time is a process. I feel like that's a headache more than a process. Slump asks, would the Timberwolves be smart to target Drew Holiday and deal Ricky Rubio? Drew Holiday is definitely someone I would like. Look, out of all the point guards that are free agents this year, this is my hierarchy. Kyle Lowry, which is unbelievable. If we get him, I'll be doing backflips and everything like that. Kyle Lowry. George Hill. I want George Hill more. And here's the reason why I want George Hill more than I want Drew Holiday. I like Drew Holiday. Really good guy. Really good player for the league. Very better defensively than George Hill. But George Hill is a spot-up three-point shooter. And that's what I feel like Jimmy Butler will love about it. He's also 6'5", is very versatile, has a lot of respect from a lot of players in the league. They know what George Hill is going to bring. And especially George Hill, what I saw from him last year with the Utah Jazz, I was like stroking my fake beard at the time. I was like, I kind of want George Hill. So, yeah, George Hill paired with Jimmy Butler, oh, that would just be such a good backcourt. In my personal opinion, and defensively too, because George Hill can play defense. He's so lengthy. So I would want George Hill more than I want Drew Holiday. But yeah, Ricky Rubio, I mean, he's probably one of the best defensive point guards, Ricky Rubio. It's just that he can't shoot worth a dang. Like you can get Ricky Rubio can find the lamp from Aladdin and rub it, and the genie can come out, and genie can say, Ricky Rubio, what are your 3 wishes? All 3 of them is Ricky Rubio wishing he could shoot, and he still won't be able to shoot. That's how bad his shooting is. Who do you see Iguodala going to? Wherever the money lies, that's where Iguodala is going to. Look, I know Golden State would love to keep Iguodala, but if you're Andre Iguodala, you've done your job. 2 championships. Should have won at least one Sixth Man of the Year, but was robbed last year. Not this year. This year, Eric Gordon clearly won it, but last year he was robbed Sixth Man of the Year from Jamal Crawford. I don't know why Jamal Crawford won it, even though Jamal Crawford started a majority of games because the Clippers were injured, but that's neither here or there. That's the NBA's voting, whatever. But yeah, I'd say where he goes, where the money goes, man. Whoever can give him nice money. The Suns, because they want everyone. No, but he's going somewhere wherever money is because he's done his job. So, yeah. Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, I think Blake Griffin is the Celtics' #1 option. And then, like, if they can't get him, they're going to go with Gordon Hayward because they need someone on the wing. They just need someone to pair up with Al Horford. The Timberwolves, it's a sad future. We don't know what's going to happen with them. He's a beast when he's healthy. Vince Carter to the Warriors. That'd be some funny shit. Kevin Durant will get to play with his favorite player. Simmons and Fultz, I don't know about Simmons. Simmons, I'm still hit or miss on. I don't know. Fultz, I think, is going to be fine. But Simmons, I don't know, man. That not being able to score, that's always like a big problem for me for wing players, especially in today's NBA. Well, because the thing is, classic wrestling commentary, Jimmy Butler is now really the real point guard of the team. That's what people forget about with Jimmy Butler is that he's a ball-dominant guard. He always gets the ball, and he works better with the balls in his hand because he creates more shots for others. That's what he does. He's kind of like a James Harden in a sense where he's a better point guard than he is. And plus Thibodeau, remember when Derrick Rose went down with that injury, Jimmy Butler stepped up, and he was playing point guard for them. And he was averaging like 9.6 assists during that run. So that's why Thibodeau is going to want to run him more at point guard. And that's the thing. If Jimmy Butler is a good passer and you need pass-out options, say someone's on Wiggins, say someone's on Towns, and Gorgie Dang, he can't really hit the 3. You're not going to pass it out to Rubio for a 3. They want someone that's, more of a point guard that can shoot a 3-pointer and play good defense. Like Rubio's a great defender. He has what Thibodeau's looking for in a defender. But really, to be honest, he just doesn't have the 3-point shot. I hope Thibodeau's the right man. I don't know. After the first season, I wasn't believing the Thibodeau hype. I mean, the defense still sucked. That's the main concern about the Timberwolves is that they have a bad defense. But he couldn't get anything out of Andrew Wiggins. He got something out of Karl Anthony Towns. Like you could see that they're getting better, but I have to just wait and see more about Thibodeau. Maybe Thibodeau is probably the better GM than he is a head coach. But, yeah, because Thibodeau is our GM. I don't care what anyone says to me. Thibodeau's a GM. Do I think the Cavs should get rid of Tristan Thompson? No, he's one of LeBron's friends. Why would you want to piss off LeBron? That makes no sense. You don't piss off your GM. That makes no sense. Classic wrestling commentary. They should, but they won't. Yeah, Slump and Mr. Tierney are talking about De'Aaron Fox. Honestly, for me, I feel like De'Aaron Fox will fail because he's on the Sacramento Kings, not because he's a bad player. Because let's be real here, man. The Kings, they're not really known for, like, drafting the best players. They're known for, like, signing great free agents, like Chris Webber, Mike Bibby, and I would like who's a great King that they've drafted. Like, think about that in the last 10 years. Who's a great Sacramento? It's like with Boston with all these draft picks and the people they draft. Who cares? Most of the starting lineup for the Boston Celtics are guys that they signed in free agency. Isaiah Thomas or traded for. Isaiah Thomas traded. Jay Crowder traded. Amir Johnson signed. Al Horford signed. Avery Bradley's the only guy they drafted for. So I'm just saying. So, like, really, to be honest with the Kings, it's like kind of like they're not really the best when it comes to like drafting talent, like Jimmer Fredette, Ben McLemore, and everything like that. I mean, yeah, you can make them good in 2K, but this ain't 2K. This is real life. And in real life, Ben McLemore sucks. Yeah, he may be able to hit 100% of threes for me in 2K, but like I said, that's 2K. Oh, well, Slump. So that way you have all these number one picks for next year's mediocre draft. Do you think Chris Paul would have been a better fit with San Antonio or the Pelicans and the Rockets? Yeah, because he'll be the ball handler. That's the thing you need. Because Anthony Davis needs a point guard that will just handle the ball. Rajon Rondo. That was probably Danny Ainge's best trade ever. Everyone wants to say Danny Ainge was like a genius getting all these draft picks. Like, no, that was just Billy King being an idiot. That's not. And also Paul Pierce saying like, oh yeah, let give Kevin Garnett into the deal. That wasn't some genius by Danny Ainge. God damn, Google Chrome 59.0.3071.0109 update available. Like, Jesus, leave me alone. I'm going to update it after the show. Like, Jesus Christ, Google. Rajon Rondo, that'll be another interesting guy. Where the hell does Rondo go to? But yeah, I feel like Blake Griffin, he's either going to the Celtics, the Lakers, not the Lakers, the Clippers, or pretty much the Suns. Because, you know, like I said, the Suns are looking to sign everyone under the moon. Because that's just want to sign everyone under the moon. Kyle Lowry, though, man, Kyle Lowry, he has a lot of options. A lot of teams want him. I think the Philadelphia train has kind of sailed. I know that was kind of a rumor going around. Obviously, the Timberwolves rumor came in out of nowhere. But you got to think about that. About this is that, you know, Lowry wants to play for a max contract, and the Timberwolves, they do have $22 million in the cap space, so that would be like wasting all your cap on Kyle Lowry. But let's not forget that Timberwolves still have to extend Andrew Wiggins, and they still have to extend Karl Anthony Towns, and yeah, they have the bird years on them. To go after Kyle Lowry like that. Honestly, for me, the best fit for Kyle Lowry, I honestly, I was on the whole like I feel like the best fit for Kyle Lowry, to be honest, before Houston traded for Chris Paul, I was like, hey, go back to Houston. You would be perfect with James Harden. James Harden would like to have someone like you on the team. But that doesn't seem the case. So really, to be honest here, actually just go back to the Raptors. Keep being yourselves, frustrate your fans, be a 4 or 5 seed in the East. Why not? End your career on a happy note. Give me the excitement of Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan backcourt that never won the championship. That's fine. The Suns are like 5 power forwards. They need a true center, yet denied giving us the hometown kid and Josh Jackson. Well, they love doing everything, man. The Suns do their thing, man. Let the Suns do what they like to do. They need stars. They have 5 power forwards, but they all suck. Marquise Chris, Allen Williams. This ain't 2K. Yeah, they're good in 2K, but they're not good in real life. They're okay. And then Dragan Bender. Dragan Bender. And then some other player. I forgot who else. Yeah, the Mavs would have been in better shape, but you know, Mark Cuban always looking for the wins. Now, Paul Millsap, man, is the most interesting because I don't know where he's gonna go, man. There's so many teams that would love a Paul Millsap. Honestly, I feel like if the Celtics lose out on the Gordon Hayward and Blake Griffin sweepstakes, you got to go for Paul Millsap. Could you imagine Paul Millsap and Al Horford reunited again? That'd be such a beautiful story. Just those two men reunited again. But Millsap is resigning. Don't say that classic. That ruins the whole Paul Millsap discussion I was going to have of how underrated and good he is. Well, I guess that ruins this video. Paul Millsap resigned with the Hawks. Lame. Why? Why would he want to do that? I mean, the Sixers, that's a team that could use a Paul Millsap, man. The Sixers could use a Paul Millsap. The Suns would like a Paul Millsap. They would love everything. They would love everything about Paul Millsap because that's what they love to do. They love Paul Millsap. But Paul Millsap, man, he's a really good player. I see him going to the Sixers. Obviously, classic wrestling commentary had to tell me that Atlanta's re-signing him, so I guess he's going to stay with the Hawks. I don't understand. Everyone's going to be like, well, the Sixers make no sense. The Sixers give him a good opportunity to be a leader for a young team that truly desperately needs it. And core with the Paul Millsap, he could kind of be like, God dang it, dude, I always forget his name. Horace Grant, like Horace Grant was for the young Magic team, for the young Magic players, like what for Penny and Shaq and Nick Anderson, all those guys, and 3D. He could be like that. He could be like a Horace Grant for them. That's how I see it. Really, to be honest, the Paul Millsap, he would be like a Horace Grant for those young players. That's just it for me. Denver Nuggets. I don't know about the Denver Nuggets. Iguodala to the 76ers. That'd be pretty cool. That would be a pretty cool little thing to see. But I don't know if the Sixers will give Iguodala the one he wants. Yeah, no, Marquise Chris, he's the greatest player in the Suns in NBA 2K. The computer always leaves him wide open, and he shoots these like three-pointers like he's Kevin Love or some shit. So I'm like, oh, yeah. Hey, I think he's back with the New Orleans Pelicans. I think the Timberwolves are going to see what's up, but I think he's back. Now, Danilo Gallinari, this guy is, oh, man, dude, this guy, after that injury that he suffered like a few years back, he's kind of re-embedded himself. He's a very underrated wing in the NBA. I feel like damn, I forgot Danilo Gallinari. I said Drew Holiday, Danilo Gallinari. I was about to say Drew Holiday about right there, but Danilo Gallinari is a pretty underrated player. He has a lot of money that's going to be thrown at him. He's a 3-and-D guy, so that already overrates him. What team would pay for an overrated 3-and-D guy? What team would waste a lot of money on him? Oh, Brooklyn. I can see. Yeah, that makes sense. Danilo to Brooklyn. They need someone. I mean, he's not Gordon Hayward, but it's close enough. That fits perfectly, actually. I can see Brooklyn signing it like, we didn't get Gordon Hayward, but here's Danilo Gallinari. And Brooklyn has like the hugest cap space available. Like, I see Brooklyn going after Shabazz Muhammad, my boy. I love Boz, but Baba Shabazz, we can't afford you. Well, it was a team agreement, Abdi Herds. That's why. And plus, like, it's actually cheaper to have Chris Paul under the contract he currently has than the Rockets signing him, because now they only have Chris Paul for $22 million compared to probably having him for $26 million. So that's why everyone's like, why not just sign for him and not give up the assets? But at the same time, you opened up more cap space so you can sign a bunch of players that you feel like will fit the needs. So yeah, that's the reason why. I understand. I don't understand why fans are like so upset about that. I agree with you though that Chris Paul doesn't fit the Rocket system. Dude, I hope Gordon Hayward resigns with the Jazz. I don't want him going anywhere else. I feel like the Jazz have a nice young team, man, and that they need to keep that core together. Because like I'm not going to say they could beat the Warriors, but man, you know, we never thought the Warriors would explode to be the great team that they are. I feel like the Jazz could do the same thing, and I feel like it's only going to happen if they keep Gordon Hayward. I feel like Hayward going to Boston or anywhere else, like really, to be honest, Gordon Hayward going to Boston just makes no sense. Like I said, this ain't NBA 2K. If this was NBA 2K, you can sign Gordon Hayward and you can win a championship with him. So yeah, Yeah, no, Shabazz was ruining his rookie year because Rick Adelman did not like him. That was his problem, was because like he because of Rick Adelman and stuff like that. So if he didn't got Rick Adelman, yeah, that's why. Yeah, Slump. I didn't know Slump sold his Xbox. I still have my Xbox. I still play 2K. I was going pretty fucking legit. Brooke Lopez is broken in that game. Man, what's with the Dallas Cowboys? I know this is an NBA video, but man, I'm looking at an NFL tweet. The Dallas Cowboys pretty much were like always have these players that are under the substance abuse policy. What is Jerry Jones beating them, man? Mm-hmm. I see these Blazer fans wanting to push for Blake Griffin. Why? You have like the highest payroll in the league. Alan Crabb, way too much money. 3 years, like 60 mil. Serge Ibaka is another free agent. He has the same agent as Kyle Lowry does. So Serge Ibaka does. He would actually be a good fit on the Bucks, really, to be honest, as Serge Ibaka. I feel bad for the Wizards, man. I'm trying to get Otto Porter back on. They probably want to get Otto Porter back on a on a cheap deal, but the Brooklyn Nets, they're going to offer Otto Porter all this fucking money, and then they're just like, "Well, we got to play Otto Porter all this money." Yeah, man, Myers Leonard's a legend, dude. Best bench player ever, getting 10 mil a year, man. Evan Turner, Alan Crabb, Al Farouk Aminu. Who's the other? They have another small forward, Maurice Harkless. I mean, they have all these small forwards that they're paying like 10 to 15 mil a year. What if the Trailblazers had re-signed Aldridge a few years ago? They would still be in the same situation. If anything, we would hear more stories about LaMarcus is pissed off because CJ McCollum and Dame are like holding the ball too much. Otto Porter finally played up to his potential, and he's going to get paid for that. That's good for him. The Brooklyn Nets. Who are my favorite players to watch? Wiggins, Towns, obviously, are my favorite players to watch. Dwayne Wade, back in his prime, was always fun to watch. James Harden's fun to watch when he's not getting too much fouls. Like, I just like watching him isolate people. It's just really fun to watch. Stephon Curry, Kevin Durant when he's dominant. When Kevin Durant dominates, it's one of the best things to watch. It's like you've never seen a pure scorer just like it's just, oh my God. Like people, I get it. Kevin Durant's a punk for what he did. But man, dude, when that dude's on, he's on. It's just so fun to watch that guy on fire, man. He's just, such a beast Kevin Durant is. Yeah, D-Wade's sad to watch now. I miss old D-Wade. Steve Nash back in his prime, I like watching. I love watching Giannis Antetokounmpo do stuff, man. He just breaks the game. He just breaks the game. And John Wall and Bradley Beal, when they're both healthy, is fun to watch. And yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to players. Lynn Russell Porter, the future of the Nets. Oh, well, Porter will get signed by the what's their idiot's name? Fuck. The Wizards, the Bullets. Flight Team. I think it's like a NBA YouTube account, if I'm correct. I'm not sure. Or it's like a 2K account like everyone else. Tweet. Oh, fuck, man. When it's hot outside, guys, that's my weakness, man. I just yawn too much. Like Chris Paul already, man. Houston, Texas. He already put Houston, Texas as a location, man. Oh, look at this. Another trade war about the Celtics, and they're unwilling to give up shit for Paul George again. Like, does Danny Ainge realize that you ain't gonna fleece the Pacers like the Bulls fleece the Timberwolves? I mean, the Timberwolves fleece the Bulls. First of all, whoever thought the Timberwolves would ever do that in the century? No, LeVar will go back on Monday Night Raw and take off his shirt and win the IC title. Derek, why would you want Derek Rose on the Spurs slicer? That just sounds like that doesn't sound like Spurs. But I don't know why. Like, is this like a Kawhi Leonard thing? Is this like Kawhi Leonard secretly saying like, "Hey, I want Derek Rose"? Is Kawhi Leonard actually speaking up for once or something? Because honestly, I don't know. Derek Rose and Greg Popovich. That just seems like I don't know. That just seems like a weird combination to me. A Derek Rose and Greg Popovich connection. Like, not a fan. I just don't see how he works out too with Kawhi. Maybe this is something Kawhi wants. Kawhi's like, I like him. Sign him. Like Kawhi Leonard's actually speaking up. Like he speaks up in the offseason. Oh. Greg Monroe, I think, should take his player option because I don't think he's going to get paid as much as he wants to. Jeff Teague, stay with the Pacers. Andre Iguodala, probably going to go where the money is. Nerlens Noel is going to stay with the Dallas Mavericks. JJ Redick, honestly, he should just go to the Bucks. That would make the most sense. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Now, that's an interesting one. I don't know if the Pistons want to keep this guy. I don't know if the Pistons want to keep KCP. He's been very disappointing, man. He was supposed to be a dynamic three-point shooter and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't think the Pistons should keep him. I think they should just let him walk. Mason Plumlee. Do the Nuggets really want to keep Mason Plumlee? He doesn't really fit with Nikola Jokic, to be honest. Center that I would put behind or next to Jokic. Like, he just – because Jokic does so much, while it's like Mason Plumlee only does like one or two things. No. We'll have to wait and see on Mason Plumlee. I mean, he could jump. Rudy Gay. I don't know what Rudy Gay can do. He's gone. Derrick Rose. Dion Waiters. Now, that's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to see what Dion Waiters gets paid, man, because he's going to get paid somewhere. Brooklyn's going to sign him. They have all this cap space. They can do whatever they want. Get Dion Waiters. Ersan Ilyasova, he's irrelevant to any team because why would any team want him? PJ Tucker is a pretty underrated player, so Cavs were like the veteran minimum. Tim Hardaway is a restricted free agent. Man, Atlanta's probably pissed that they paid Kent Bazemore all this money. They're just like, oh, man, I'm so pissed we paid Kent Bazemore all this money because Tim Hardaway ended up being Kent Bazemore. And now they're afraid because teams are going to overpay for Tim Hardaway, like the Brooklyn Nets, and like teams that are going to need a shooter like him. And they're going to have to match that because they don't want to lose this guy because he's probably one of their young pieces that they want to keep. Patty Mills, the Spurs are hoping they can get him on like a team-friendly deal. But at the same time, for his age and the player that he is, a lot of teams will probably want a Patty Mills, man. Honestly, if the Timberwolves want a discount version of all the guys they're looking for, I'm fine with the Patty Mills because he can shoot the three-point ball. We'll have a nice deal with the Cavaliers. I want Zebo to stay with the what's it called? Grizzlies. For some reason, YouTube's saying people are not able to chat. What's this all about? What are you doing, YouTube? Fix your shit. Okay, cool. I can see the chat now. For whatever reason, I can see the chat. Now the chat disappeared again. What is YouTube doing? I was like trying to wait for more chat questions, and then I couldn't see them. So I was just naming off where idiot players could go. All right, so yeah. No, well, that's DeAndre Jordan's fault. He should have just signed with the Mavericks in the first place. I don't know why he went back to the Clippers. Jokic is a beast. I love watching him play. Yeah, no, he's really good. The Nuggets can be the next Golden State. Oh. MJ and Schleg Daddy, that would be a hard thing to get together, but I'll talk to MJ about it. Maybe we can get it together. I would love to do something with MJ and Schleg Daddy. To the Cavs, like sign a veteran minimum. There you go. Him and Kyle Korver back to the Cavs. Well, Kyle Korver back to the Cavs. GW mean with the Heat Saturday. Just saying. Wait, who's mean with the Heat this Saturday? Who's GW? George Williams. I don't know who GW is. I'm not that smart with these nicknames. G-Dub. I'm trying to look at GW on the free agencies. GWs. I don't know who GW is. Someone tell me who this GW is. Am I just missing something here? Randolph. Yeah, I hope Zebo stays with the team. No, Zebo going to the Warriors would break my heart. I'll be so pissed if Zebo goes to the Warriors. For the chat? All right, cool. So I guess I'll have to go on the YouTube phone to read the chat. Do an MJ takeover here. Yeah, I know, because I can't see the chat. Like, it's just I have to keep refreshing the page. It's like annoying. So just turn off my voice so I don't have to hear it again. Do an MJ take right here. Yeah, no, but Zach Randolph, man, I hope he don't leave, man. I like. Oh, Gordon Hayward. I was like, no, that's not GW. Someone said GW is talking to the Heat. Who the fuck is GW, man? I don't know who this GW is. Some caricature. Makes no sense to me. Some guy called Baller Mixtapes is like, hey, sub to me. Cool. Oh, Gordon Hayward. What kind of money do the Heat have? They already, dude. They gotta find a buyout option for Chris Bosh, man. Like, oh man, dude, they gotta sign Trashaz Muhammad. That should be his name. Oh, why are you so mean to? Why are you so mean to Shabazz Muhammad, man? Leave my boy Shabazz alone. Shabazz has done nothing wrong, man. So, anyways, this is a report about the Celtics. I'm willing to give top assets for Paul George. For the second straight year in a row, the Boston Celtics entertained several trade offers for stars such as Jimmy Butler, Paul George. Besides to pull the trigger and pick the Cavs, Jaylen Brown, and Duke's Jason Tatum, respectively at number 3 in the last 2 drafts. The Celtics are unwilling to give up their top assets again, which most likely include either Brown or Tatum, if not both, or their lottery picks for the next 2 seasons in order to get George to come to Boston. I don't know what they're thinking about. Just give up them. That'd be a fun little team, though. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Like, none of them will be able to score 3-pointers. It'd be great. You're just like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, did Bosh retire? Oh, or the Rockets escaped it. They do? Why are y'all concerned they can't sign Dion Waiters in? I would re-sign Dion Waiters. First off, man, he seems to fit with what Eric Spoelstra wants to do. And Gordon Hayward's going to ask for too much too, and he could disappoint for the Heat. To be honest with you, he seems like one of those white people that if he goes to Miami, like he won't do anything afterwards. To the Spurs, I mean, it would make sense. I think it would be a good move for Kyle Lowry, but I think he would be asking for too much money, and I don't think the Spurs. I mean, people forget the Spurs. The recent moves that the San Antonio Spurs have been doing, they're the 3rd highest team in the cap. So, like, you know, they have the 3rd highest payroll in the NBA. They don't want to pay more freaking money for that. Why would they? Rudy Gay makes sense for the Heat. Him and Dion Waiters, they wouldn't share the ball. That'd be funny. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. So the Heat don't have to pay him. So now they have cap space. I thought they still had Bosh's ugly contract. So, yeah, now they do have cap space. FTC flight team stand up. I don't know who these flight team guys are, but shout out to them. Homeless people that I got one time during the wrestling stream. One time I was doing a wrestling stream, I got all these homeless people. They were like it was funny as hell, man. I'm like looking at it. Oh my god, man. All these weird people on the Facebook today and YouTube. Yeah, no, Wade doesn't need to be in Miami anymore. That's just a waste of time. Pau Gasol not going to the Spurs anymore? Well, yeah, he's not going to resign with the Spurs. He's going to just do his own thing. Do I think Devin Booker will become a future superstar? Yeah. Guy's pretty damn good. I mean, he can drive, he can pass, he can definitely fucking shoot. I think Devin Booker is pretty damn good. Flight team is fans of the reaction channel. Flight Reacts. He has over 1 million subscribers. Oh, okay. I think I watched him react to LaMelo Ball's 92-point game and stuff like that. He was funny. He was all like, "Oh man, the guy's just running back and forth, man. He ain't really playing basketball," which is true. LaMelo really wasn't playing any basketball. He was just kind of doing his thing. Oh shoot, I didn't realize. Stream. All right, guys. This is where I have to end things here because I keep my streams at a good pace and stuff like that. So thank you guys very much for watching this NBA live stream. I very like the support that you guys are showing to the NBA content as of late. I really like talking about the NBA. It's fun. When free agency starts going, I'll have probably another free agency something for you guys and stuff like that. More trades, hopefully, more craziness. This NBA offseason has been awesome, and I'm glad that it's been awesome. So, yeah, pretty much what I said in this free agency preview, even though it wasn't really a preview, it was just me saying, I think this guy should go there. I think it's time for a veteran minimum. It was more me answering NBA questions. It was really a legit free agency preview, but it's all right. It's all fun here. Thank you all for watching. Remember, guys, just like Brock Lesnar, sometimes you don't have to give a shit. Follow me on Twitter at ChaseAuto68 and give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. I'll see you all next time for maybe a wrestling or sports-related video. Peace.